I'm standing in the middle of rural Bangladesh, and this belongs to one of the most profitable businesses in the village. Here, microfinance is connecting people, literally, to new opportunities. Oh, excuse me. Hello? Oh, this is a business call. I need to take it. Excuse me. Yes, I say
A lowland jungle country in southern Asia, Bangladesh, faces many challenges. Most Bangladeshis live in rural communities. Nearly 40% of the population is underemployed, working only a few hours a week in low-paying jobs. And every year, a third of the land floods during the rainy season, making life even more difficult. But recently, the nation has made huge strides in education and development. And one modern device has helped to make that possible: the mobile phone. 20 years ago, Bangladesh was one of the least connected countries on earth. To deliver a message, most people had to visit each other in person or send a letter, which could take many days or even weeks. Having access to any phone was a distant dream for the people of rural Bangladesh. Most villages had no phone lines or electricity at all. Until Bangladeshi entrepreneur Iqbal Kadir decided that needed to change.
Back in 92, 93, Bangladesh had only about one phone for every 500 people. And the rural areas had no phones. Close to 100 million people lived without any access to any phones. And so I felt this is a country that certainly could use some phones.
As a child living in rural Bangladesh, Iqbal saw the challenges of living without phone lines firsthand.
One time my mother had asked me to get some medicines for a younger sibling 10 kilometers away. So I walked all morning to get there. And when I arrived there, the medicine man wasn't there. So I basically came back with nothing achieved.
Remembering that day, Iqbal realized if he had only had access to a telephone, he could have quickly found another source for his brother's medicine and gone straight home to help.
saving time can be a matter of convenience. In Iqbal's case, it was a matter of health. But in the business world, time is a valuable resource.
I realized that connectivity is productivity. So if you connect people, you enable them. And I realized that telephone might be a weapon against poverty.
So Iqbal set out to bring telephone communications to the farmers and villagers of Bangladesh. But there was one big problem. Traditional wired phones require complex infrastructure. And only industrialized countries have a reliable network of them. And Bangladesh didn't have very many telephone lines to work with. Making phone service available to the rest of the population would require installing thousands of kilometers of wires and poles. There was only one solution: take a giant leap forward and bypass wired technology altogether. Iqbal's first challenge was to convince investors.
The problem was I was trying to take this very modern device to a poor country, but also trying to take it to the poor of the poor country, okay? And people simply did not believe that it's possible.
So he teamed up with Grameen Bank, a Bangladeshi bank experienced with money. The idea was to help people buy mobile phones they could use to start businesses. It's a business model that was already working with livestock.
Somebody could borrow $100 and buy a cow. The cow could give milk, and she sells the milk in the village and pay off the loan. So it's really a business, but it's milk for the rest of the village. So my point was that a cell phone could also be a cow.
Iqbal's idea was called Village Phone and was hugely successful, bringing mobile connectivity to even the most remote parts of Bangladesh. Here's how it works. Each village phone operator would take out a microloan to buy a mobile, then set up a small shop to charge customers from the community for phone service. Most of the microloans were awarded to women.
At that point, so it was an opportunity that hasn't been there before this time.
This shop belongs to Soraya, one of Grameenphone's very first village phone operators.
I heard that the mobile phone was coming, so I took a loan and bought one of the phones. Initially, I took a loan of 12,000 taka. After I came back with the phone, I started up in business.
12,000 taka is a lot of money. It's more than a third of what the average Bangladeshi earns in a year. But there was a simple way for Soraya to pay it all back.
Soraya charged each customer that came to her shop a fee to make a call.
I would charge them 30 taka per minute, depending on the country they were calling. And if they were receiving the call from somewhere, they paid 5 taka. That was how I ran the business.
Soon, nearly every village had a phone lady and a vital new link to the outside world.
People is that it could bring some new business.
All over Bangladesh, people started using mobile phones in creative new ways to expand and grow their own businesses.
There was a barber that ran out of his lease as a very expensive lease in a street front store. And he had a completely new idea. He got a bicycle and a cell phone, and he traveled through the town, and he could call his clients and give the haircut in their homes. And as a result, the client would get a better service because he didn't have to go somewhere.
Grameenphone and its village phone program have been a huge success for Soraya.
But since I started the business, I've been able to earn a good income. For 8 years, I've been using the phone to make a living. I used to live in a tin house. Now I have built walls, installed a bathroom, and I've furnished the house. I've been able to buy some land. I've bought everything we need. And it allows me to do things. For example, I can pay for my children's education. I can do everything I need to. Things have improved in every way.
The success of the village phone program allowed Grameenphone to grow and expand throughout Bangladesh.
It has simply altered people's lives. It has brought the country together because people can reach each other very easily. And they're seeking opportunities in a profoundly different way than it has been possible before.
Today, there is one mobile phone for every 4 people. Over 30 million subscribers. Now an entire nation has access to modern communication. Iqbal's vision of mobile phone access has created a profitable marketplace where 6 different phone service providers compete for customers.
If you talk to people in Bangladesh, you will see that they think of this. It creates a totally new life.
Life in Bangladesh has been improved one phone call at a time.
It is a good thing. The business is a good thing.